could you just like walk us through the steps of the debridement and like how does it work? Like I never saw it in action, so I was just curious, like what else, what everything that you do exactly.
Yeah, and there's quite a few different types of debridement. You have sharp debridement, which is what surgical debridement, of course, what a surgeon does. And often, if you ever look at that, it is a bloody mess. If you ever Google it, they tend to go after senescent cells that aren't functioning at 100%. And so they will find the wound and cut up to a ½ inch outside the border of the wound. So it looks much larger by the time they get through, but they're trying to get all the non-functioning cells out of the way. So that's a surgical debridement. That may be done once. What we generally do in our is a sharp debridement, which can be done oftentimes with a scalpel, sometimes with a curette. Forceps can be used, and scissors. In high-tech areas that can afford it, they also have ultrasonic debridement, which actually sends out a little mist in front of it. It hits the debris, and then you can actually visibly see the debris start coming off from the microcavitation. And so that's, but we don't have that expensive piece of tool, but some of the teaching hospitals do. And I'm sure as price comes down, there'll be more out there. And the other question I usually get is, hey, do we numb these patients before we pull out a scalpel?
That was my next question.
I usually pop up a nice picture gentleman has from my collection where I've got a forceps going in one side of his toe and coming out the other. And I've deleted his face over the years due to HIPAA and everything, although he allowed it. But he's sitting in the chair smiling because a lot of these patients come in have neuropathy. They have no idea we're even touching their foot. So there's very little discomfort, if any. Your venous wounds may feel a little bit, but again, the more skilled you get, you can do a lot of debridement with very little change in pain level. And then we have topical lidocaine. So if we think it's going to be uncomfortable, or sometimes just as a placebo effect, we will put the lidocaine cream over it before we begin the debridement. But these patients, especially in the outpatient setting, little to no pain with the debridement. Once you get skilled at it, I can't say that's where you start, but once you get skilled at it, there is very little pain with the debridement.
Well, that's good to know. I was just wondering. I was like, that must be painful. How the patients like tolerate that? That doesn't sound nice.